Hair flip, yeah, I'm a badass bitch. I don't like it. Hair flip, yeah. Oh my god. So you guys should be happy. Oh my goodness. Hair flip. But anyways, hair flip. Hair flipping on these hoes. Hi.
Peace, this is Brother Afrika Bambaataa of the almighty Universal Zulu Nation, the Amun Ra of universal hip-hop culture. In new music, we trust, because we trust the true school. And you only get the truth when you deal with the true school.
Afrika Bambaataa was born as Lance Taylor to Jamaican and Barbadian immigrants. Bambaataa grew up in the Bronx River projects with an activist mother and uncle. As a child, he was exposed to the Black Liberation Movement and witnessed debates between his mother and uncle regarding the conflicting ideologies in the movement. He was exposed to his mother's extensive and electric record collection. Gangs in the area became the law, clearing their turf of drug dealers, assisting the community health programs, and both fighting and partying to keep members in turf. Bambaataa was a member of the Black Spades. He quickly rose to the position of warlord of one of the divisions. As warlord, it was his job to build ranks and expand the turf of young Spades. He was not afraid to cross turfs to forge relationships with other gang members. And with other gangs, as a result, the Spades became the biggest gang in the city in terms of both membership and turf. After Bambaataa won an essay that earned him a trip to Africa, his worldview shifted. He had seen the movie Zulu and was impressed with the solidarity exhibited by the Zulu in the film. During his trip to Africa, the communities he visited inspired him to create one in his own neighborhood. He changed his name to Afrika Bambaataa Asim, adopting the name of the Zulu chief Bambaataa, who led an armed rebellion against unfair economic practices in the early 20th century in South Africa. He told people that his name was Zulu for an affectionate leader. Bambaataa formed the Bronx River Organization as an alternative to the Black Spades.
Filed against Afrika Bambaataa at all?
Absolutely not. Not today, not yesterday, not the day before yesterday, not ever.
The question now is what happens next? Can we ever find out the truth of what really occurred? And are there other victims out there who have yet to come forward? Or is this a case that will only be tried in the court of public opinion? Here's what both sides have to say. In our exclusive interview, Afrika Bambaataa emphatically maintained he is not a sexual abuser. Do you feel now you are among that group of people falsely accused?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, there's always been things in our community where you falsely accuse people, or people that sit in the prisons, political prisoners and groups like that, that they wait to 10, 15, 20, even 30 or 40 years before they find out that this person was railroaded.
But Ronald Savage believes there are more victims out there and that the statute of limitations should be eliminated.
No one can tell anyone when they're ready to let stuff out. And especially if you haven't went through what I went through and other people went through. It's like, how dare you?
Not my videos, just other comments, because I was searching for something, and I wanted to touch on something. Back when I was growing up, you know what I'm saying? Back in the 80s, 70s, you know what I'm saying? That was a whole different era than what it is now. Back then, we didn't really have the information that we have now, and especially on child sex victims. You know, these days are totally different from what it was back then. And, you know, I see slick comments of people, you know, making and stuff like that. That's because the era is totally different than what it was back when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely, I mean, you trollers, I mean, if you're gonna say slick comments, I mean, you need to like really keep that to yourself, because there's a lot of victims out there. There's a lot of kids, even now, that's being molested. And that shit don't help. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're trying to ease the pain for child victims and make them, you know, feel comfortable with talking about it. And slick comments don't help. Just because nothing happened to you doesn't make you better than a motherfucking body. Because everybody has something wrong with them. Everybody has an issue. Your issue is you could be getting fucking bullied. So now you want to bully someone who's been a victim of something else, you know what I'm saying, because your ass was bullied. It don't go like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to be sensitive to other people's issues. You know what I'm saying? And back what happened to me when I was molested, that was back then. That shit ain't now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to educate. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really speak about it. I haven't spoke about it in a while. You know, because I was getting therapy. Like, when things happen to people, people need to seek therapy. I haven't had therapy for a very long time, especially back when shit happened to me. I never had therapy. I never told nobody, meaning like my family. When I got older, I started telling, you know, people that was close to me. And when I got in my 20s, that's when I told my parents. You know what I'm saying? And during those issues of, during that time period, a lot of shit was going through my mind. So my thing is, you're being unfair to people who things happen to. It's not even about, you know, being a child sex victim. You could be bullied. Your boyfriend can be beating you up. You know what I'm saying? Now you got girlfriends beating up their boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? You could be starving at home. Your parents probably could have no money, and you starving. You hungry. That's why you bullying the next person. Bullying is not cool, especially cyberbullying. Don't you know you can get arrested for cyberbullying? Y'all don't even know that. That shit is not cool. Shit is not cool at all. And my heart goes out to any victim that's been molested. You know, like, I know what it feels like. You know, just because I don't talk about it, that's because I'm getting therapy. I'm on depression pills. You know what I'm saying? So my thought pattern is different from when I first came out. So you got to bear with me and let me be able to want to talk about it myself and swim through these pills that I'm on, because the pills that I'm on don't let me talk about issues that really bother me. So for someone to bully someone into talking about something that they're not ready to talk about or comfortable or can't talk about it because they're on pills, that's not fair. You know? Because you wouldn't want that done to you. You know, there's a lot of good people out here, but people just have issues and people deal with things differently. You know what I'm saying? And definitely, I'm here for anybody that's been any type of victim. I'm here. I'm still here. You can hit me up. The slick comments, yo, man, leave that shit for somebody else. Put that shit on somebody else. Matter of fact, put that shit on your own page. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do the shit that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of different victims for different reasons out here. You know what I'm saying? So you really need to think about that and stop the cyberbullying. Because a cyberbully just shows the real bitch in you. Peace.
This dude was like looking at me and he's like, you texting? And I'm like,
I'm like, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, I'm texting. So he was like, he was like, nah, you know, 'cause, you know, yo, it's just a pleasure to meet you, and y'all been following your story, and it's an honor, and this and this and that, blah blah blah. Yo, you know what this dude told me?
What he said?
He was like, yeah, you know, your story touched a lot of people, and it changed a lot of lives. And I was like, you know, thank you. And he was like, yeah, you know, he said, just when your story came out, a couple of months after that, I apologized to my granddaughter for molesting her when she was younger.
Oh, wow.
Yo, I was like, word. I was like, whoa. Yeah, he told me that shit, and yo, he like started crying. He had like tears in his eyes, and he was like, "Yo, I thank you, man." And I was like, "No problem." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, it's real. I was molested by one of my mother's friends when I was young.
Yeah, man, it's a lot deep, you know. So
yeah,
she was telling me like, you know, like why don't I go home and just write down on paper, you know, everything that was bothering me and things that I don't want to like come out and say. Just put everything on paper, you know.
Gotcha, yeah.
So yeah, you know. So when I went home, you know, I just started doing it. You know, I just started putting down like everything that happened to me, because I'm like, well, you know, if she wants to know me, you know, I'm just gonna tell her my whole life, you know. That way you could get to know me and where I'm coming from. So I just started writing and writing. I just wrote like everything, good things, bad things, everything. And while I was writing, that shit is just like, I'm like, damn, this shit is like a book. And that shit just like turned into a book. And I had wanted to finish it so that I can, you know, it was like I was proud, and I was getting like everything out, you know, at the same time. And I was feeling a little better, because I knew that, you know, she was going to read it, and I didn't have to come out and be like, you know, and talk about it, be like, blah, blah, blah. I wanted her to read it and then talk, you know, and that's how the book came about, you know, because when she was reading the papers and stuff like that, because I had a whole bunch of papers and all, and then she was like, yeah, but won't you like put it into a book? And that's what I did. And then she read it, and, you know, then from there, you know, that's when, you know, we just started kicking it, you know, the therapist, and, you know, healing me. And I broke down in the office a couple of times, and, you know, then, you know, we talked about BAM, and we talked about my relationships and everything, you know. And then, you know, they put me on depression pills, and you know, I was on depression pills like for a minute, and, you know, ever since I've been on those depression pills, it's like, yo, I can talk, and it don't bother me, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I feel good, and, you know, I'm able to talk about things that I never would have talked about openly, you know, to the public or to anybody that was outside of my little box, you know.
That's powerful, because a lot of people cannot do that. That's definitely powerful, and yeah, I commend you for doing that, because this is you led other people to come out too.
Yeah, man. So many people, man, done came to me and shared to me, even like, yo, like thug niggas, like rah, you know, them type of dudes. Yeah, man, they come up to me and told me that they was molested too, man, when they was younger. So, you know, it feels good to be able to, you know, let people begin to talk about it and heal themselves, because this was a subject that was always taboo.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you know, and what I'm trying to do is, you know, break that taboo and let people know that it's okay to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and that's why I talk about it more and more. And, you know, I go around to like the different colleges and I talk about it with the kids, and, you know, come to find out like, yo, man, so many people, man, like it's crazy that this done happen to. So, you know, people can relate to, you know, what I'm saying, you know, and it definitely feels good. And, you know, even when I'm outside, you know, in different places, people want hugs, and, you know, because they say, you know, thank you and stuff like that. So, you know, it feels really good, you know.
That's great. And it's reaching so many people. Like I said, when it hit me, I was like, I was that guy that had a little secret.
Right.
And when I said, you know, and I said, this person had a secret. I know every ex-girlfriend I had, or even my wife to this day, my wife says, yeah, something happened to me when I was young. And I was like, wow, it's just mind-boggling how this is continuous, and it's continuously happening.
And it's like every girlfriend that I had, you know, from my very first girlfriend, you know, all the way up and to now, you know, every girl that I had, I've always told them what happened, you know, and so, you know, and this is like since like my very first girlfriend, and you know, I always was open with them because I've always had like a problem like intimacy. Is like I didn't like to be touched. You know, like when you touch me, especially like if I'm not aware that you're getting ready to touch me, and it's like a surprise touch, it's like it felt it weird. It felt it like very uncomfortable. And you know, I didn't like it, and you know, I didn't like to hold hands. You know, I didn't like to snuggle in the bed. I didn't like to do none of that because it just felt weird. You know, and you know, I've always loved girls. That wasn't a question, but it was just a question of just being touched.
Gotcha.
You know, I didn't like it, so I try to show things in other type of ways, like, you know, us going out or me buying you something and stuff like that. You know, I would show my love like that, you know. But then I know with girls, you know, after a while that shit gets like damn, like I can't even touch my man. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But you know, with the touching and stuff like that, it's like I can do the touching and stuff in bed and stuff like that, but I have to initiate it. You know what I'm saying? I have to be the one like in control. Like I have to be the one to touch. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it makes perfect sense. It does make sense. You know, because when you have somebody who did something to you as a child, you know what I mean, and they try to take advantage of you, you don't want to be taken advantage of or be surprised. You know, so it's like a defense, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You
know, that's what it was. But you
wow.
know.
Can you mind take me back a little bit? I know the story a little bit. I just take me back. How old were you, and where you grew up a little bit, and who was Bam at the time to you?
Yeah, well, you know, how I first got down with the Zulu Nation and stuff like that. This was back when I was in junior high school. You know, I was it was this girl that lived in my building named Laverne. Like I've always had a crush on this girl ever since I was in the first grade, you know.
Gotcha.
And you know, I've always was going, you know, to the house and stuff like that, like every day and stuff like that. And you know, to me, that was gonna be, in my mind, that was gonna be the first girl that I had sex with, you know. In my mind, you know. So like, you know, as we got older, whatever, her older sister, Denise, had met Jazzy J, and you know, they started dating and stuff like that, and you know, that's how I met Jazzy J, you know, because I used to be up at the house every day. I was like their little brother, and you know, me and Jazzy, you know, we clicked, you know, and then one day, this was after a while, after them two, Denise and Jazzy talk, and then, you know, we was trying to get Jazzy to, you know, to DJ in the park, because we lived in, you know, in the Bronx in Castle Hill projects, and Castle Hill and Bronx River, Zulu Nation, they did not get along.
Run that back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, they, you know, they did not get along at all. You know, Bronx River always used to roll up on Castle Hill, so, you know, we convinced Jazzy to DJ in the park, and he DJ'd in the back of our building. And you know, that day, that's when, you know, I had met the original members of the Zulu Nation Council, and you know, because they, you know, they were there and stuff like that, and you know, this is when my sister had met you know, one of the members from the Zulu Nation Council at the time. He was the youngest of the Zulu Nation Council, and you know, that's when we, you know, met Mr. Biggs and Smitty and Pow Wow and, you know, from Soul Sonic and just everybody that day, you know, in the back of the park.
That's the beginning of everything right there.
Yeah, you know, I was in the 8th grade, and you know, everything was love from then, you know, and then, you know, that's how I met Bam, because Bam used to come up to Castle Hill with them. You know, it's like my building became like the Zulu Nation hangout. hangout building, because everybody, it seems like all the girls in my building end up, having a Zulu as their boyfriend, that hung out with Laverne and Denise and them, and I always was the tag along, making everybody laugh and joke and stuff like that. And then, I used to hang out with Bam and stuff like that, when he came up, to the building and stuff like that. And then, I had went on and graduated to high school. And one day I was like I was in the 9th grade, and I was cutting, and I didn't really have nowhere to go because I didn't want to get caught by the police officer at my school.
Yeah, I remember that cruelty.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, where can I go? So I was like, I had Bam's number, and it was always in the back of my mind that, okay, I know I'm down, I know I'm Zulu because I was hanging out with the Zulu Nation Council, so that's like top of the line. That's like top of the line clout, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had never heard it from Bam to say, yeah, you a Zulu, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, well, let me just go, chill out with Bam, get to know Bam, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to hear from him, So, I end up calling him, and he ended up telling me, to come over, whatever. And, I came over, he paid for the cab and stuff like that. And then, when I went upstairs, everything was good. There was another dude there, and it looked like they was DJing or whatever. Because, the music was on, and everybody was just chilling. So Bam told me that that I could go into his room because the TV was on. So I figured, they was DJing or whatever, probably getting a set together or whatever. So I didn't think nothing. I didn't think nothing of it. So I went to the bedroom, and when I got into the bedroom, it was a photo book that was on the bed.
Yeah.
So when, I went and I sat on the bed and I looked at the photo book, and when I opened it up, I seen like a bunch of Zulus, like Zulus that I knew, people from Bronx River, and Zulus that's from everywhere. And, at that time, different pictures, they was holding their dicks and, all that different type of shit. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I bugged out, like, and Bam's like, yeah, a lot of people in that book, So,
yeah, he tried to make it seem like it's cool. Wow.
Yeah, so to me, as I look at it now, older, to me that was the setup. He knew that I was coming, so he put that book on the bed purposely. You know what I'm saying? And then, he's telling me, yeah, everybody in that book, to make me feel like it's okay, like that was something, like that was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And then he even showed me a picture of my sister's boyfriend, from the Zulu Nation. He even showed me his picture, and I'm like, yo. So then, Bam telling me, like, he was like, yeah, do I know how to jerk off? And I'm like, jerk off? Like, what are you talking about? Because at that time, we was good kids. We wasn't street kids or none of that stuff. So, and I wasn't into jerking myself off. I ain't know that's fucked that. I was a shelter kid, like anybody that knows me knows that. So, he told me to take my pants down, and he began to jerk me up, showing me, like this is what it is. So he made it feel like that was the thing. He was like, it's okay, because everybody does it. Because I was feeling some type of way, you know. So then, he told me, to do it. So I started jerking it. I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like kind of nervous. I really wanted to leave, but I don't know. I was just like in shock, like, yo, like be a potter, you know what I'm saying? But he was making me feel like this is what you do. Like if you a Zulu and you hip and you down. So I was like, I didn't want to seem like I was a punk or whatever. So I did it, and then he ended up leaving out the room. And then the dude that was in the living room, he came into the bedroom, and his penis was already out. So I'm like, whoa! I got like mad scared, and I ended up leaving out of that house. And yeah, so I end up running and whatnot, running, and then this lady, she had pulled over and she had drove me back to my school. So
Wow.
yeah, like at that time I was like, yo, I'm not ever going to this dude's house again. That was in my mind. So some kind of way, bam,
And the
bam.
other guy who was in the house, he had to be one of the top Zulus as well.
Well, I'm gonna put it like I put it like this. Let me just jump back to him.
Mm-hmm.
This was a while after that, maybe like, I don't know, a couple of years after that, or I don't know exactly how long it was after that, but I was at a party. I was at I was at one of the hip hop parties or whatever, and I'm watching certain artists perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking, and I see, the rest of the people that I know, that was on stage with this particular artist. And then the hype man, I looked and I'm like, yo, that's that dude that came in the room with his fucking dick out.
In April 2016, Bronx political activist Ronald Savage accused Bambaataa of molesting him in 1980 when Savage was 15. Following Savage's allegations, 3 more men accused Bambaataa of sexual abuse. Bambaataa issued a statement to Rolling Stone denying the allegations. In early May 2016, the Universal Zulu Nation disassociated themselves from Bambaataa as part of an organizational reconstructing that saw the group removing all accused parties and those accused of covering up the current allegations of child molestation from their current roles in the organization. On May 6 that year, Bambaataa left his position as head of the Zulu Nation. Then a month later, the Universal Zulu Nation issued an open letter apologizing to the alleged victims of sexual abuse perpetrated by Bambaataa.
This is Ahmed Henderson, the co-founder of the Universal Zulu Nation and now the head of the Universal Zulu Nation. The official statement comes from us, right here.
Peace and love from the Universal Zulu Nation. We, the Supreme and World Councils of the Universal Zulu Nation, based in New York City, who are in control of the Universal Zulu Nation, who has the only authority, are taking this time to address the membership and global community in regards to Afrika Bambaataa's role in our organization. We are publicly announcing the official removal of Afrika Bambaataa from the Universal Zulu Nation. Based on the numerous allegations of child molestation, we as an organization cannot allow these accusations to tarnish the name and or legacy of the Universal Zulu Nation. We take these allegations very seriously because we are a youth-driven organization with the mission of saving young lives through the advent of hip-hop culture all around the world. Until these allegations are addressed by Afrika Bambaataa, we cannot allow Afrika Bambaataa to be a part of our worldwide movement. As a point of clarification, Afrika Bambaataa has not been the leader of the UZN since 1994. In 1994, UZN started a global realignment in order to better serve our global communities. It was during this realignment phase that Afrika Bambaataa handed the reins of the UZN over to the Supreme and World Councils. Though we respect Afrika Bambaataa for his humanitarian efforts, work within the UZN, and his overall contributions to hip-hop culture, we can in no way allow these great things to cloud our judgment. The Zulu Nation has an obligation to its members and global communities to address any of these allegations of such a serious nature. Today's Universal Zulu Nation continues to operate under the principles of peace, unity, love, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, overcoming the negative through the positive, and having fun to serve a higher purpose. These principles have always been the foundation of UZN, and through its ideology, we will continue to serve our global communities selfishly. We ask all Zulu Nation members, please understand that no one person is bigger than the overall mission. We thank you and appreciate those who continue to support, acknowledge Universal Zulu Nation for its 40 years plus of global community.
No questions were off limits.
Have you ever abused any underage boy?
I never abused nobody. You know, it just sounds crazy to people to say that here you abused me. You know, my thing is, you know all my people back then. You know the hundreds of people that been around me. You know, if something like that happened, why you never want to? None of them.
KRS-One, you stupid motherfucker. Yo, I'm telling you something. Prince, I know Bam sucked your dick.
KRS-One, you stupid motherfucker. Yo, I'm telling you something. Prince, I know Bam sucked your dick.
Don't. Like,
what is it you don't care? You don't care about the victim's statement, or you don't care about the narrative that's followed?
let me go deep into it then. There is a professional statement that I can make that's sincere. And that's the statement that I actually made. Afrika Bambaataa has to deal with Afrika Bambaataa. The accusations made against him are made against him. They're not made against hip-hop.
To ask this question, with that being said, with the name being, like, how is hip-hop supposed to respond to the Bambaataa? Like, how are we supposed to do that?
What angle you want to take it from?
I just don't know. That's why it's a generic question. What should we do? Because you being our father,
sure.
Whatever you say, I have to move accordance to it.
Well, you know, first of all, controversy is not truth. What you want is truth right now. You want truth. Right. But truth is also not information. It's not gossip. It's not even conversation. For me, if you keep it hip-hop, nothing can be taken away from Afrika Bambaataa's contribution. Nothing. Just keep it hip-hop.
Right.
But if you want to dig into dude's personal life and accusations that's being made and so on, me personally, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Personally.
Right.
Look, if somebody was harmed or whatever was done, or whatever, y'all deal with that shit. What? Deal with it.
Right.
That don't stop hip hop.
Right.
That don't stop what you did for
take away the
hip-hop.
legacy.
Don't take away none of it. History's history.
Right.
But deal with that. That's personal. I don't even know what to say.
Because I don't know the facts of the case either.
No, but even if you knew the facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A person like me, I deal with dudes that are questionable all the time.
Right.
Not just if the accusation is rape.
Right.
I know dudes that are doing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you know anybody from prison, if you know anybody from the shelter, if you know anybody, if you lived really in the hoods, you know shooters, you know dudes running from you know your man might have an open warrant on him right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm not judging these motherfuckers, man. It's my nigga right here, yo. That's it.
Right.
Now, what you do and your crime and your shit and your bullshit, whatever you doing, that's on you. That's you, my G. That's whatever you doing. That's how I always dealt with it. I can't pick and choose, say, yo, this dude right here. I mean,
To come to Afrika Bambaataa's defense following his sexual abuse claims was KRS-One, who brushed the controversy off before releasing a statement clarifying his comments. In an interview facilitated by Doggy Diamonds TV, currently available to view on the site, OG Half Pint said to have a disturbing encounter with Bambaataa at just 12 years old before giving his thoughts on the reasons why the Zulu Nation was created. Take a look at the clip.
And I said, I got to go to the bathroom. So I goes to the bathroom. About 4 seconds later, this nigga comes in the bathroom. You know, don't have pint. I got to get something out the bathroom.
Directing his anger toward KRS-One, he made bold allegations about his relationship with Bambaataa in the clip.
KRS-One, you stupid motherfucker. Yo, I'm telling you something. Prince, I know Bam sucked your dick. I know it's no way that you sit there and you try to like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You a man. You don't have nothing to do with another man touching little kids. So that means you will have no problem with Bam sucking the little boys off in your family. Stupid ass Afrika Bambaataa, what's up? And you corny ass Zulu Nations. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been thinking about this shit. I'm gonna tell you something. I've been, you know, just been thinking about this shit. You know, I'm from Bronx River all my life. You feel me? Yeah, this shit is crazy. Yo, Bam, you out of order. You fucked up. You's a fucked up dude. I'm gonna tell you something. Whatever happened to you, this what it is, y'all. This what it is, yo. This what it is. Whatever happened, whoever touched that nigga, or if nobody didn't, whatever is wrong, whatever happened to him, he conjured up his mind. The mind of a pedophile is sick. This dude conjured up a whole scheme. Like, I want y'all to know, this goes back, because, and yeah, Bambaataa, Lance Taylor, nigga. Lance Taylor, that's his name, fat bastard, fucked up dude, yo. This is what he did, yo. Wherever he got that sick shit from, whoever touched him, this is what he did. I don't know if y'all know. Bam went to Africa. Took all the Spades money and went to Africa. And some of them gonna try to say they sent him to Africa. They ain't send that nigga to no Africa. This is what I believe he did. He had that pedophile shit in him. He's looking at TV because he a little smart. He ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? He a pedophile, because he a pedophile don't mean he's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And actually, he's real cunning, because to do what he do, you know what I'm saying? He's slick, because he figured all this shit out. But this what he did. That motherfucker goes to Africa like in 73, 72, 74, whatever, in the early 70s. Do you know how poor Africa was then? How poor Africa was? And he went over there, fucking them little boys, sucking their dicks, because they're poor. So and he's slick, and his mind is cunning. He's tricky. He's a snake. He's a pedophile. Pedophile sound like some snake shit. That sound like it's a snake, a pedophile, some type of snake. You know what I'm saying? And he went over there and he did that with all those boys. In the process of being over there, he comes back with this Zulu Nation shit. And this is his reason for having boys around him, because he know his plan. So I'm a start DJing. I'm gonna come up with a Zulu Nation, and this gonna be my plan. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be my reason, so I can have the kids around me. The kids, but he really want the boys, but he gonna say kids, and then, you know what I'm saying, he's using this as alternative to keep them off the street. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna tell you all the sick part about it. He's like a backwards drug dealer. He's like a stupid drug dealer. You know, like, this is what drug dealers do. Drug dealers do the wrong things for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? Are just the basic criminal drug dealers. You know, even some stick-up kids. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. They do the wrong things for the right reasons. They may be doing something wrong, but then they want to go take care of their family. This dude, pedophile brain, stupid ass, fat bastard, nasty motherfucker, is doing the right things. He's doing the right things for the wrong reasons. I'm gonna start something for the kids. I'm I'm gonna take the kids out. I'm gonna keep them safe. I'm gonna keep them safe so I can pick and choose between them. This dude is crazy, yo. I think about this whole shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's all he do. So, you know, he comes up with this Zulu Nation, and he comes back to the States with this shit. So he want to make Bronx River is his first nation now. This is where he from. And he picking, and he going through, he starts it up. And he starts there first, and bam, and this is how I know you did it. You know what I'm saying? And you know I know, motherfucker, so you can't tell me, because you tried that shit with me. I told Jerry, Larnett, Poppy, I told niggas before, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you how he tried this shit with me. I was 12 years old. This when I because anybody know me, I used to run away. Niggas know I was wild. My mother used to come and get me from parties. Like, they used to say, Jules, your mom's is at the door. Like, I'm ducking and hiding and shit. I'm running away. Because, you know what I'm saying? My mother, you know, didn't want me hanging out late like that. You know what I'm saying? I had good parents. We all got good parents, but mine was extra strict. They was bugged out, crazy. I love them to death. I miss them to death. But when I started hanging out down the hill, thank God for Steve in the building and Kato that was in our building. I never forget it. Steve had told me, yo, watch that nigga faggot ass nigga, the faggot Bambaataa, But Kato had told me, he said, don't be in no rooms by yourself with that nigga Bambaataa. And if he tries something, just let me know. This is what Kato had told me. And it was, you know, sometime after that, I don't remember, but you know what I'm saying? I do remember this. Two of the dudes that was in the room are still directly around Bambaataa right now. So I know, you know what I'm saying, the shit is true. But this what he had did. We was in there, a lot of us listen, we fucking with the music in there. And I said, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I goes to the bathroom. About 4 seconds later, this nigga comes in the bathroom. You know, don't have pint, I gotta get something out the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Comes in the bathroom, look at the medicine cabinet, don't find it. But then I'm peeing already. This nigga whips he said, oh, I gotta pee, whips his dick out and pee. And I'm looking at his dick and he looking at my dick. And I'm 12 years old, don't get me wrong. So, you know what I'm saying? I know this ain't normal because all the men and even the women, you know, when you teach a child how to pee, men, you know, we stand behind them. And you know, when he young, you teach him, whether he in a potty, you teach him how to shake it, but you're standing behind him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm 12 years old. And matter of fact, you know, see, I think another reason why, like, I'm a wild 12. I'm a runaway 12. So when he did that shit, my body tensed up. You know what I'm saying? It tensed up. And you know, him being a professional pedophile, he sensed this. He sees this. And I guess he knows Half Pint ain't the one for this shit. He's not the one for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, and those who know me, if you're not with his shit, you're not gonna be around him. Cause anybody who know me, they know I used to rhyme back in the days, Half Pint, and then you remember this nigga even tried to go calling me. They said, well, we gonna call you Little Biggs. We gonna call you Little Biggs. You know what I'm saying? And I may went under flyer too under that Little Big shit. You know what I'm saying? But once he seen I wasn't with that pedophile shit, all that shit stopped. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to thank God for Steve, and I want to thank you, Kato. I don't know if you live or not, because it might have been that little. I know it was that little thing, because it just, once he pissed it and tore it with me, that wasn't normal. Like I'm 12 years old. I'm 1 year from it being a teen, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't saying it for the youngest, because like I was a fast 10, 11, 12. Like I was one, you know, stay away from Jules Jackson. Stay away from that Jules Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Bam, you's a piece of shit, yo. You's a piece of shit. And I'm going to tell you something. If I was around when you was still, you know, yeah, I'd have fucked you up, Bam. Especially if I'd have knew about that shit with Poppy. I'd have bust your fucking ass. But I'm going to tell you something. I want y'all to know, like, you know, a lot, and I gotta say this too in behalf of my project, you know what I'm saying? Fuck Bam. But I want y'all to know, because a lot of niggas, you know what I'm saying, Bronx River, we've been digging a nigga's ass for years, straight up and down. Y'all niggas know. And I want y'all to know, a lot of y'all gonna take this and say, you know, oh, them niggas over there. Listen, Listen, y'all was scared of Bronx River because we was busting.
Once again, this is Born Love to God. Once again, going in hard on this Bambaataa thing, man. I'm glad that on May 7th, man, all the black media wants to get together on 125th Street and go through it, and we ready. You know, I'm ready to get the interview. You know, a friend of mine named Lois from Bronx River. You know what I'm saying? Frank is my witness. He offered me a deal and said, yo, all you got to do is come through. Let me do something because I need groups. And that's what was going on with Puff at the time when Puff was doing what he was doing in '93. He needed groups because he was undecided. Like when he had that big, the Big Mac and the Biggie Smalls thing for what they was doing. He also was thinking about having a trio between him, Biggs, and Third Eye or Jess West from Bronx River, because he was undecided on how he was going to produce this or present it to the world, because he was looking at it from like all kind of angles to make sure that he didn't have no doors that's going to get closed, because he had to come through for Clyde Davis to make sure that his imprint deal was going to stay steady. And that's the same thing happened with Loud Records and Violators Records with Chris Lightly. He was looking for groups. It's just I was so perplexed by what I went through when I went up to Strong City and Bam talking about like that sex, and if I turned that down, that's what happened in '93. I'm running around with guns on me. I'm trying to get this money up, and me and my cousin, you know what I'm saying? You know, Jamal know what it is. You know, we joints on us. We getting ready to go take some money, and this dude, you know, we just time out. You know, a little say what's up to this dude, and for him to really try to act like he can really think like, if I turned down your proposition to be a hip-hop artist on your track, what makes you think you can actually look in my face where I'm with my cousin? You don't even know what we going through, man. We out here hungry. My cousin did motherfucking 21 joints, man, from some shit, man. You know what I mean? And your monkey ass is sitting there looking in his face trying to figure out if I can set up a situation for you, him and me, and some bullshit. I cocked the 9 in my pocket, and you didn't even know that if it wasn't no light outside at the time, I was going to gun you down. I would have shot you, Bam. That's my bond to you as a man. If that wasn't no light, I cocked that gun in my pocket, and I'm looking at you like I'm getting ready to light your ass up, because you really are very disrespectful to the black consciousness, man. And this ain't about your sexual identity, man. This is about the fact you don't respect nobody else. You don't got no lines that you draw. You don't draw a line and say, man, that ain't for these brothers right here, man. Let me just do what I'm doing. That's that. You don't know what the fuck going up. If it was dark out that night, man, that would have been the end of you, man. Or at least you would have felt some slugs. Like I caught this bullet in my face, and I know how bullets feel. You didn't know how bullets feel. Alright? And that's that, man. But hip-hop, man, y'all won by default. Bronx River never broke radio silence. The Bronx River BX, man. If we ever assemble...
What's going on, man? Oh, man, we all knew that nigga was like that, man. Hold on. Wasn't no goddamn secret about no shit, man. He always did that shit, man. I knew the nigga from damn near 40 years, man.